Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and this is episode 179 of Online Marketing Moves. And we are coming to you live today. Today is Sunday afternoon, January the 17th, 2021, at the time of this recording. Ladies and gentlemen, I started listening to a book last week, and I highly recommend this book. It is called The Confidence Gap, a guide to overcoming fear and self-doubts by Russ Harris. And on the cover it says, Simple Techniques for Long-Lasting Results, drawn from ACT, the Revolutionary Mindfulness-Based Therapy. Now, in the book, one thing about this book that is pretty good, it says, of course, you're still going to have negative thoughts. You know, a lot of these books, I like to read books that talks about the mind and psychology and things like that. To me, it's very fascinating to see how people think, to see why people think the way they think, and all that kind of stuff. But one thing about this book, because a lot of books are like, you know, just be positive, and it'll all work out, which, you know, without action and without, you know, sometimes you take a bump in the road, but without the action, you know, nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna work out, you know. But this book, the guy was like, this is not one of these self-help books where we just do positive. He says, no, you're still gonna have negative thoughts. And I thought, man, that is very true, because even though I am doing this podcast and I like doing the podcast, some days I have the thought, who in the bleep is listening to this? You know what I'm saying? It's like, who am I to think, oh, I can start a podcast? You know, I have these thoughts creep in. They don't creep in as much because, as you well know, the more you do something, the better you get at it, the less likely then you will overcome these doubts, these thoughts that creep into your mind, you know. So, with that being said, I'm just here to say, you might have negative thoughts, but those are just thoughts, you know. I used to think that your mind was in charge of the situation, but actually you are the person walking and talking. The mind is great and everything, but your brain is just a tool. Your brain is just a tool. Yeah, you might have those negative thoughts, but you hear them, you say okay, and you keep going. You know, you keep pushing. It's not because I used to think, you know, like who would want to read a book from me? And I used to have these thoughts because I used to always want to write books when I was in my 20s. But I'm like, who am I? How can I write a book? Where am I going to write a book? You know, and now, you know, of course, I'm a little older, and it's not about having confidence. It's just about, all right, Tony, you just got to shut up and you just got to start writing. It's not about, you know, who's going to buy it, what's going to buy it. No, it's about me. It's about you, the individual, doing what you want to do, doing what you have to do to get the things that you want to do done. Okay? It's not about who am I, why, blah 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 blah. If it's in you, if this is what you want to do, if it's something you want to do, if it's something you want bad, then you just have to go get it. It's not about, you know, who's holding you back. It's not about who's slowing you down. It's not about, oh, I got a job, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's like, man, at the end of the day, I've learned this the hard way. You just have to say, F it. I'm going for it, you know? Like I told you before, might work out, might not, doesn't matter. But if you keep going, it'll probably, more than likely, it'll probably work out. The main thing is, a lot of people just quit. You know, that's the main thing. People quit. You know, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Sometimes it might take you 10 years. Sometimes it might take you 15 years to get to where you want to go. You just have to, you know, of course, we all have negative thoughts. We're all going to think, you know, every now and then, I've built more confidence in doing this podcast, but every now and then I go, man, who's going to listen to this? And I know there's a long way for me to improve to be the best broadcaster that I actually want to be. I know there's a long way. There's a process, but I am on the process because we are 170 something episodes in. You know, we have listeners. I've gotten paid from this podcast. And it doesn't matter how much. It doesn't matter how little. I can look at myself in the mirror and say I am a paid podcaster. You know what I mean? So that's that. You can't stop yourself just because your brain is like, this is not what we want to do. This is not what we want to do. Blah, 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 blah. If it's what you want to do, tell your brain, you say, hey, thank you, man. But, we got to keep it going. We got to keep it going. Got to keep it moving, So, with that being said, that's it for today. That's your little Sunday. Well, that's your Sunday podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And just remember, negative, it's like, I'll tell you like this. Your brain is like, when I was in the Navy, I was on a boat. And one thing for some reason, when we was out to sea, we would get these little fires, and then people would have to go and put them out, in the engine room, it'd be like a little fire, and then we put it out and, make sure everything is all right. Put them out. That's the same thing about your negative thoughts. Your negative thoughts are going to creep in. But what you got to do, you get the fire extinguisher. Aim at the base of the negative thought and put it out. And of course, it's going to pop back up again, but you put it out again. Don't let the negative thoughts get too big, because once they get big and get out of control, then that's where trouble starts. But if you squash them, aim at the base, make sure you take care of them, put them out. If your negative thoughts pops in, you go, oh, nope. Because I'm telling you, if it's something you want to do, then don't let your brain hold you back. Don't let your negative thoughts hold you back. Don't let anybody, people, places, things, situations, don't let anything hold you back. Take it in stride. You're going to have negative thoughts, of course. You're going to have some bumps in the road, of course. But hey, it's all on the journey, okay? With that being said, that's it. I'm going to go back upstairs. Stuff to do. But ladies and gentlemen, we will talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Martin Luther King Day. Go out and volunteer and do something nice for somebody, okay? But anyway, my name is Tony Zano. That's it for today's episode, and we will talk to you later. And as always, everybody, peace.